Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Well, hello guys. Welcome to our group. We are from the fourth group and we would like to present our presentation about understanding text marking and annotation. But before that, let us introduce ourselves. I'm Cholifatur Rohmah and my partners are Nanda Aulia, Nuris Maulida Al-Fatih, and Mieta Rizki Liastutie. Before we continue to our presentation, let me read the contents of our presentation. The first is Introduction, Understanding Text Marking and Annotation. The second, Study Strategies, Critical Thinking and Using QIUCK as a study aid. The third is Using Textbook Features. The fourth is Marking and Annotating Text. The fifth is vocabulary strategy, and the last is understanding graphics, reading complex table. The first presentation will be Miss Nanda. So, cheerio.
Understanding text marking and annotation. In this chapter, we will show how to use text marking to understand and develop our reading skills. This is an effective method of reading for college by using strategies involve varying your reading rate, identifying and overcoming comprehension problems, and using text marking to comprehend and learn. Study strategies. Critical thinking and using question-answer relationships QAR as a study aid. In college, tests require proficiency in critical thinking. Thinking critically means analyzing. Analysis is spread information into parts to see how they fit together. Evaluating evaluation is make a judgment about the value of a reading or point of view. And synthesizing information is put parts together to form a whole, focusing on creating something new and forming a new conclusion. Question-answer relationships, or QAR, is a strategy that helps you understand what type of question is being asked and, therefore, how to answer it. QAR is simple because this strategy breaks question types into 4 levels. 1 is right there. This type of question is literal. 2. Think and search. This type of question compels you to find a literal or directly state answer and locate information in the passage. 3. Other and you. This type of question requires you to comprehend the passage and to locate information. And the last, on your own. This type of question refers exclusively to your own opinion about a topic or your own experience and background knowledge. Reading rate. In college, as a student, you must vary your reading rate or the rate or speed at which you read, depending on several factors related to the reading passage you are tackling. The most important factors that affect reading rate are 1. Your purpose for reading. 2. Your background knowledge related to the topic. 3. The level of comprehension the reading passage requires. Comprehension monitoring. To be active in reading, it is most important to use the appropriate strategies to fix the problem. You have to know what to do about not understanding what you are reading to begin to grasp the ideas. First, do not expect to read everything in college at the same speed. Second, expect to use pre-rating, during rating, and post-rating strategies when reading to learn information. The example is like on the table. Third, have a repertoire of strategies to use when you do not understand the information. Using textbook features. A textbook feature is any feature of a textbook provided to aid the student in learning material presented. Some features you can expect to encounter within a chapter follow. Chapter introduction. Introduce the information in the chapter, usually with a real-life application. Chapter outline, objectives, or goals are usually presented as an outline of key subjects or topics to be discussed in the chapter. Key terms and their definitions in the text margins or otherwise emphasized are very useful for students, as these definitions and explanations are often exactly the ones that need to be learned for class. Box and charts often summarize information in a chapter or prompt you to reflect on the chapter contents and should be examined closely. Graphic aids or visual represent important information related to the content of the chapter. Featured readings or applications are passages inserted into a textbook chapter that apply the ideas of the chapter to a case study, real-life scenario, or another discipline. Chapter summarize usually appear at the end of the chapters and present a condensed version of key information. Study question, review exercise, and other learning devices are found at the end of the chapter.
Next is marking and annotating text. Text marking, often referred to simple as underlining, is a term used to express a reader's interaction with written information as a part of an effective study strategy. Why use text marking? Text marking is an effective strategy because you learn to selectively identify the most important information in reading. Because marking the text is a selective strategy, you choose only certain things to mark with your pen. You are doing the groundwork for note-taking. Marking the text is the process of sorting important from unimportant information in a reading. And in the sorting, you are learning the information and preparing it for storage in your long-term memory. In order to be able to effectively mark text, you must have a solid grounding in several comprehension skills. The first is you must be able to recognize the pattern of organization of a text. Second is you must be able to see the relationships between ideas in a passage. And the third, you must be able to pinpoint the main idea and major supporting points that support the most important point. And these are all skills you learn in chapter 1 through 4. How to mark a text? Here we have quick tips, suggested techniques for marking a text. The first is circle concepts or key terms. A concept is an idea or simple the topic of the passage. The second is underline main ideas only. Underlining is a way of marking the text to determine main ideas and supporting the details. You should not underline anything but the main idea itself. However, because this would be confusing. The third, enumerate 1, 2, 3, or A, B, C. Major supporting details in the margin, or if there is space above the sporting detail. The fourth, use small case alphabetical notation for minor sporting details. A small, B small, C small, or number. If you use uppercase alphabetical notation for major details. After you have marked the text, you can annotate it. That is, write notes paraphrasing the topic, the main idea, and major and minor supporting details in the margin or on a separate sheet of paper based on your marking of the text. Steps for marking a text. There are 8 steps. The first is preview the reading. Read the paragraph or passage in its entirety. Determine the author purpose. Determine the topic of the reading. Determine the pattern of organization. Determine the main idea. Go back and mark the text. And the last, after you mark the text, annotate. Make notes paraphrasing the topic, main idea, and major and minor details in the margins or on a separate piece of paper. We have quick tips, that is the SOUL, S-O-U-L, method of taking notes. SOUL is an acronym. The first letter of each word is combined to form an easy-to-remember word to help you remember the key points in the marking. SOUL stands for S, select. Make sure you are selective about choosing the key points. O, organize. Make sure you organize the key points based on author's structure. U, understand. Make sure you understand what you are writing by paraphrasing the author's language. L, learn. Use your study notes to prepare for tests and learn the information.
Okay, the next is using dictionary. In college text, you will encounter many words you do not know. One strategy for understanding this key term is to use the key terms features in your textbook. Another strategy you can use is to practice and apply the vocabulary strategies of using context clues, recognizing word parts, and understanding figurative language. However, sometimes you need to be active in expanding your vocabulary by using a dictionary and learning more complex words through study. The first is using dictionary. Every college student needs to own a good college dictionary. A dictionary will help you understand different ways a particular word can be used in different contexts, and a dictionary identifies what part of speech word is: noun, pronoun, verb, article, adjective, adverb, conjunction, interjection. A dictionary can provide information about the origin of a word, whether it is derived from Latin, Greek, Old English, French, or another language. The second is recognizing common college vocabulary. While there is no doubt vocabulary is accurate through encountering words you do not know within passage you are reading, some of you may desire to begin to expand your vocabulary by learning. Use your knowledge of word parts to make educate cases as the meaning of the following word or look them up in a dictionary.
Understanding graphics. To find main idea in a graphics, use the same steps you use in reading text. With complex table, however, you will benefit from marking the information in the table in order pinpoint the most information, just as you do in written text. Now, you will sharpen your skills by finding information of importance to draw conclusion about complex table. To read for main ideas in graphics, first is determine the topic. Second is determine the pattern of organization. Third is determine the most important point. In the case
of complex table, you have to look closely at the information to get the most important point. You will add 3 more steps to draw your conclusion. First is determine the meaning of each of the columns represented in the table. Second is determine the meaning of each of the columns that tells you as whole about the topic. Third is make a reasonable inference about future trends. So, if we will make a columns, make sure that your columns based on your data research before. After you did it all, you should give good explanation to understanding easily. That's all from our presentation. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.